up with another episode of Booze Your Dad, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Welp. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
Welp, it's Bwine. I don't know. It's all there.
Do you remember the reference for Welp?
Welp is a baby otter, I believe.
Very good. Like you.
Like a squib. I got a bunch of those.
Booze Your Dad, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People watching this, we love the support. Come hang out. Do the thing. We're going to be drinking beers. We got a fun episode planned for today. Episode 141. Calling this one Shocking, which we're going to have to explain to people. But before we do that.
Put one in the, we'll tell us later.
Zach, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking for tonight's episode?
Because I'm a lazy son of a bitch and didn't go to the damn supermarket. I still got 2 more of these Rolling Rocks. Nick, Jenna, let's get that Trader Joe's going so we get some more beers. What do you got?
E2?
Yeah, E2.
Zach, so I went recently to Maryland a couple weeks ago, and I got all the 4-packs. They would not sell me singles, so I had to buy 4-packs of all these good Maryland beers, and then I essentially had 2 kind of housewarming parties.
Good Maryland beers? Just like a cup of bay water?
With some Old Bay in it.
Piss? Like, what do you got in there?
So I got a bunch of 4-packs, and I gave them to 2 of our regular listeners, so they'll be drinking along at least with me for the next 7 weeks. Along. I got a fun one from the Brewing in Cambridge, RAR. How do you pronounce that?
I don't know, but don't ever do what you just did again.
American Blonde type of ale. It is called Maryland, but you got to see that it is a picture of the gorgeous Maryland.
Yeah, good. I like everything about it.
It's very topical because have you seen the promos, the trailers for the new movie they're doing with Ana de Armas?
No, but she could Star Wars. So she's Marilyn Monroe?
Can I do it?
Yeah. But she's Marilyn Monroe?
She's Marilyn Monroe.
But she's not like hippie or curvy enough. She's got to put together, but
I think my weakness is Cubans. That might be my ultimate. Camila Cabello, anything Cuban.
Desi Arnaz, the whole bit.
Release the Kraken.
I like the Camila. She's pretty good at her songs aren't bad. I don't want to like them, but they're catchy and they're pretty good. They're better than they have any business being.
Great segue because she does a song Havana, which in our family we always joke Savannah because that's where Julia went to college. And something happened to me this past weekend that was absolutely episode 141 shocking to me. So
shock me with that deviant behavior, as they say in Empire Records. Love that movie.
Very underrated.
Not in my house. It is rated.
Sugar high.
I thought you said Shelby high, but
Zach, we were at
sing that all day.
My buddy Timmy's daughter's first birthday. Great party. Thanks for having us. And Julia ended up talking.
They didn't have me, dick.
He also didn't have a girl that was in his wife's wedding party, and then she unfriended her on Facebook, and they are no longer friends.
I was deep into Trump gun country with Nate's Barbecue. Woo!
What's Nate's Barbecue?
Nate from softball.
Oh, I couldn't make it. Yeah. How was that?
Well, I went to that. I mean, it was Trumpy. His stepfather looks you in the pool, so we were both just wearing bathing suits, and he has a cowboy hat on. And he goes, "So, you Democrat, Republican, or liberal?" And it went from there. And it's a lot. He has like wildlife. He has goats and animals, and everyone else has a fuck Joe Biden flag in their yard, which I don't get. If you want to buy a pro flag for your team or your guy, cool. Why would you buy an anti? I would never buy like a fuck the Yankees flag. It just seems a bad use of $40.
It's just more clever to go with the Let's Go Brandon.
That's not clever either. Why spend money on a nonsensical anti? You want to get one for your guy, enjoy. But an anti-flag seems stupid.
Zach, coming up with another fantasy football name, I am going with Let's Go Brandon Ayuk. That's one of my team names.
You got to get him. I subscribe to you. Have to have the guy if you're going to make the cute name.
At this 1-year-old's birthday party, Julia is telling this girl that she met there who's going to Savannah, which Julia went to school, and she's telling, you got to go here, you got to go here. She's giving her all the places. And then on the way out, Julia drops and don't forget the Forrest Gump bench, which there's no bench there now. It's just a park, but obviously you know what we're talking about. And as the girl's out the door with my back door, she goes, I actually have never seen Forrest Gump before, and I stood up out of my chair and started yelling at her.
Yelling?
It was more aggressive than it should have been.
Nice.
I found that shocking.
Oh, so I misinterpreted again how what shocking means. I went like off the rails on what shocks me, which is not a lot, but it's weird stuff sometimes. Um,
It was just a story I was going to tell you, and then something else. Bless you.
yeah, because
Something else happened this morning. I went to Dunkin' to get some coffee for the morning, and there was a very nice gentleman two ahead of me who ordered a hazelnut coffee, which, okay, that's fine, with cream and 6 sugars.
guy's on his way out.
Is it a wonder people are losing legs to
Yeah,
diabetes?
he's gonna lose a foot to diabetes, right? So he's gonna get gout. God help this guy.
That was when I texted you this morning with, "Oh my god, that is insanity." So that's when
So
I kind
for
of asked
me,
you.
all right, for me,
So I said to Zach, let's do an episode tonight about things that shock us, and I'm just tying in some stories. And Zach basically goes, quote, I'm numb to the world."
I'm numb. Nothing shocks me. But to that point, yes. What bothers me in that vein is when somebody, orders a salad and then puts 4,000 calories into it. Let me get bacon and extra ranch with a side of blue cheese and some cheddar. And like, what do we just hook it to your veins at a certain point? Why would we get a salad? Yes, that's the same thing as your Dunkin'. Like, so what shocks me? I went very sort of out there with it.
I was worried you were going to go with D, none of the above. Nothing shocks you.
Oh no, everything is something. I mean, I could be shocked by anything.
Nothing is everything. Everything is something.
Electricity shocks me. That's it for me. You've been great. So I'm just going to read what shocks me. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go tit for tits.
Go ahead, Zach. I was
What
curious.
shocked me? So
Try not to go list. Tell me a funny story.
I don't have a story. Oh, I got some story. So things that shock me are just like people's arrogance sometimes. Not whatever, I got HIPAA. If not, at work, we have someone who's about to walk away from $110,000 or sue and probably lose and spend $300,000 and a year in litigation to lose, rather than just buy an apartment. Like, to walk away from that kind of money or to blow it based on ego, things like that shock me. I couldn't believe
Money over ego?
But no, ego over money. Just digging their heels in, and they're going to spend 3 times what they're trying to save.
It's like a divorce.
Just to win.
Yeah. Hose over everything.
Just buy the fucking apartment.
I can't say who it is, but I have a family member who might still be in a divorce, and her and her ex-husband have spent more money on the divorce than the money they're arguing over.
Right. Shocks me. Things like that.
Yeah.
Shocking.
But is it a money thing? Because you're
no. It's not a money thing. It's the arrogance of the mind that shocks me. Like that. This is how just their mind works. They want to win so badly that they'll walk away from this, or they'll gamble an enormous amount, which is an enormous amount for them.
All right, I'm ready to throw something out. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Because my sister just wrote, she is watching this, which, great. She always watches, never gets the trivia. With my niece right now, I am shocked that my 13-year-old, way too school for cool niece would give a flying fuck about this podcast.
She doesn't. She cares about me. She wants to know what shocks me. It's wild stuff that shocks me. Moving on. Are you going to do any, or just what shocks me?
Now, I actually have a question about if this would shock you or not. Now, this is a true story. I won't say it's about, but we were hanging out with some of Julia's friends.
By the way, it's a tad gauche to ask for a shout out.
As soon as she wrote MADYSON, that was everything for me.
That's fine, but then to say afterwards, give us a shout out.
This might be the most attention I've gotten.
Yeah, but it seems more than a tad needy.
Allison, a tad needy?
More than a tad.
Also, she's in Canada for pishadoo of the week, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. One of Julia's friends that we went to hang out with recently, they start telling a story where, the girl is a little younger than the husband, not by much, and neither of them are super attractive. So I
would have shut up. I like that.
We go to their house, and they're telling us a story about how they did a romantic getaway, I think, in Atlantic City.
Ooh, and they're romantic.
This is Jersey. And they end up going out to dinner, and the maitre d' or whoever boxes, makes a little swan with tinfoil of the food going home, turns to the guy and says, "I packed them separately for you in case you want to leave after."
Oh.
And he basically turned into this whole, if I was 10 years younger, I would kick your ass. And I was thinking, Zach, are you shocked by that comment? Or would you just be like, what an asshole?
Comment's hysterical.
I also laughed really hard. I was like, yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Fuck that. I was like, no, that's funny. Like, he's making a joke. He's guys working tips. If that had landed, he might get 20% more.
Except they're basically calling your wife a hooer or saying that you're old or you can't only afford that type of
Oh,
deal.
he's just gonna say that. All right, once our transaction is done, well, you leave. I'm
But
okay with that.
they're married for many years.
The waiter doesn't know that.
But the
He's doing some shtick. I
So
like where he's at.
you would defend Jenna's honor. You're just all in like, yeah, that was great.
If he said, in case, hey, here's your own swan in case you want to leave after the sex, I would have been on the floor laughing. Absolutely, you're my guy. What do I give a shit? I want to leave after sex anyway.
I will introduce you to them if they
We're
come
gonna
to the
have
wedding.
sex. Who, the waiter? You gotta fly him
We're
down
gonna
there.
fly the waiter in.
He's gonna cater. That's the guy. My +1. Other things that shocks you? A cut up waiter?
I'm doing this a little more clever than here's what shocks me: quesadillas. It's neither a
My
case nor a dia.
mother-in-law's Facebook post shock me.
They're all bad. They're all.
You're friends with Louise Mayer on Facebook?
No, people over the age of 55 on Facebook, it's comical. My favorite Facebook post is when somebody types in the name of somebody and posts it when they clearly meant to type that in the search bar. Gets me every time.
Her stuff is all like Russian bot sites and stuff about, I'm with Bibi Netanyahu. But most of these sites are like, you could say where the site is from, it's from like Norway. And it's like that sliver of the Norway-Russian border way up there where it's just a server room and one guy with a dim light.
So this is a big Rogan fact. 19 of the 20 top Christian websites are Russian troll farms.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just typing out random stuff.
William, all of it.
So here, this shocked me. This past weekend at the second housewarming party that I was at. Shout out to Big Mike and shout out to the Queen of Scream and Big Mike who hosts us. Great party, a lot of fun. Sitting there talking to the Queen of Staten Island who will be in California this upcoming weekend. What are you doing? I'm going to Catalina Island is what she said. Zach, what do you respond to Catalina Island? Anything?
The wine mixer?
I said the fucking Catalina wine mixer. And not only her, but many people in the room look at me like I had 7 heads.
What else? I didn't even know Catalina is a real place.
It's an island. It's really nice.
Sure.
So I then have to explain the Catalina wine mixer. And then what shocked me, multiple people have never seen that movie.
It's pretty good. I do think
pretty
it's overrated.
good.
That shocks me. It's not as great as everyone seems to think, though. I think it's
and my comment was, it's the last funny comedy that's been made.
Mm.
And then that got some responses of
what year was it?
Like 2007, 2008.
Maybe.
But then somebody goes, well, what about Date Night? I was like, that was unwatchable. Then somebody says a good response is Bridesmaids. And I said, Bridesmaids has 2 funny scenes. The plane and the dresses.
40 minutes too long. The dresses is funny.
You're crazy. Those 2 scenes are great.
Okay.
But when you watch the old classics, I'm such an old guy, like Dumb and Dumber, it's like, oh, it's this scene. Oh, it's this scene. Dumb and Dumber is
an hour and 40 minutes of fire. Like,
that's what a comedy is, not 2 scenes in a movie. So we keep going on with this, and I am arguing my case and getting nowhere.
Was it after Borat or before Borat? Because that was fantastic too.
Agreed. It was after.
But yeah, fine. Your point is close enough to made. Yeah.
Shocking.
You know what still shocks me sometimes? And I don't know why. Call me a fuddy-duddy. Face tattoos and like the giant disc in the ear. Like, what are you doing? Maybe not the teardrop. That means we're good. We're cool.
Cry baby.
You're fine. Cry baby. But like, what the fuck are you doing with like a neck tattoo or a fucking face tattoo or the frisbee in your ear? Good. You play frisbee golf breaks out and guess frolf, you've got it on you? Ridiculous.
Are you a frolfer?
No. I mean, I sleepaway camp. I can throw a frisbee, but I wouldn't be caught dead frolf.
I did a lot at sleepaway camp that I wouldn't do right now.
You do every one of those things right now and probably have.
Oh my God. Zach.
Including striking out with girls.
We talked about, I held 4 different girls' hands one summer. Just saying.
I call bullshit rule of 3.
Speaking of Crybaby, do you
know?
know?
One hand and a pinky.
Do you know where Crybaby was filmed? That movie?
Ugh.
Do you know whose current middle school it was filmed at? Currently attending?
Yeah, your middle school?
Mine, my sister's,
like
and
wherever the hell Madison.
That's how you pronounce that, Madison.
Yeah, because if you took away the son, it's Maddie, so it's Madison.
Oh my God! See what I don't think you've quite realized that you're gonna have a field day with one day is my sister's name is Allison. Her husband is Jason. Her daughter is Madison. Do you know the other two?
Bryson and Brinson.
Bryson and Carson, all
Oh, I was
sons. The Sun family.
story. Type it in the
Um,
chat.
we could talk about it another time.
No, I want it right now. I'll never remember. Put it in the chat. And I love that Marlene said trashy people, and then she puts her family.
No, she was talking about people with the teardrops and whatnot.
If you think so, the chat reads how the chat reads.
I have a patient I'm working with today who had a little bit of an episode mid therapy, and she had to have her son drive around back and pick her up. And I've heard a lot about the son, and he gets out of the car, his big truck. The guy has everything you just mentioned. And I walk up, I give him a handshake. I was like, "Hey, it's nice to meet you. I've heard really good things." He was like, "You have a great day now." he answered the wrong question to me.
Fantastic.
It was something like, "Okay, I'll take care of that." I was like, okay, sure, whatever you want."
Shocking for you, that meeting a guy like that. You don't give me anything. You're just throwing puss. You got nothing.
All right, Zach, I got a couple of fun ones up here. Let's go with, I saw an interesting post on a group that I'm a part of.
It better be shocking.
We're done with shocking. We're moving on.
Oh, I had another one.
Keep shocking.
Well, it's not really shocking, but like sometimes I do get shocked. Sometimes by the cost of like stupid things. Like, what the fuck am I spending $6 at Starbucks on coffee? Like, sometimes those do just shock me. I'll walk in and get sticker shock. I'll still go. Or like when I built my wall unit, when the guy quoted me the price, I looked at him and goes, "So that's wood, nails, and paint, right?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "And it costs that."
And it flinched?
Yes. It didn't flinch. It was unflappable. And then I worked on him a little bit. But like, yeah, literally wood, nails, and paint. No way is that 5 figures. Like,
Zach, we only get to use the N-word for one thing, right? Our N-word is, what did you do to get him to bring the cost down?
oh, I jade him down.
There it is.
But that's not the N word. That's the J word.
Might as well.
It's
I
hardly.
I have a good N-word reference as we get into our trivia
That's
later.
shocking. They got Tarantino over there.
So Zach, I see this post recently in a Facebook group that, I'm moving to this town. I'm trying to become more of the community. A lady post, "Hey, looking to hire a roaster for my husband's 50th birthday party."
Whoa.
I contacted her immediately. We go back and forth a couple of times. Finally, she ends up on, "How much do you charge?" And
Zero.
I said food and drink, and I'm totally happy to be there.
Yeah.
Which, truthfully, it's a part of the community that I'm going to be working in. I said, I'm opening up a new business. I'm looking at people. She goes, "Oh, there's going to be tons of people from the area." So I thought that would be good for me. Then I started doing some like deep digging for this guy. I don't know if I'm going to get the gig because other people were throwing out professional people that have been on like America's Got Talent. If I don't get to do this, you and I are going to just destroy this guy on the podcast, right?
Send me his Facebook page and his bio.
They like cruises that this guy could have floated away on his lips on one of those cruises.
Dude, anyone who likes cruises is a total loser. Especially people who go on cruises with like Hawaiian shirts and Ravens gear and bring the whole family and go on every single cruise ever invented, ever. Cruisers, especially when they name all their kids son and they go on a lot of cruises and they bring Raven stuff and they go to the buffet and they post pictures on Facebook. Julia's dying.
I'm very excited.
A big hug when I see her and the whole mishpucha.
Do you know how small she is? She's shorter than you by a lot.
By me or shorter than Jenna? Shorter than Jenna? Jenna's 4'11". What's Allison working? 4'8"? Is she in the Lollipop Guild?
She represents. So,
I'm you to cruises.
So, Zach, the other thing I wanted to say about shocking, which I forgot to bring up, is
Hold about Allison. What's your cruise of choice? Please tell me something better, like Carnival or better.
Royal.
None of that. Royal?
Yeah.
Royal. I did the Royal once. I did a.
So that's another one of those guess who died in our family. A typical response to when you hear something that just
Guess
you just
where
go.
Allison's cruising. That's what they do.
So you'll say something in our family, and a very typical reaction is shocking, which is such
shocking or scintillating. That's me too. I do that shit.
But you have to say it with a straight face. Just go shocking.
Yeah, me and your mother are gonna get along real great.
Okay.
She's gonna like me, or she won't. I don't know.
I'm really pumped about this roasting thing. I think it's gonna be so much fun. And by the way, I was with you. What am I charging them? $50? Maybe $100? Like,
Nothing.
feed me.
Doing it.
And I said, What am I allowed to say? And she goes, oh, he loves roast. Anything you want.
Hold on. Is there gonna be a dais? Because no dais, no roast.
So
Formal.
they're supposed to be, at least from the information I've gotten, they're doing it in, I think, November 9th.
Done.
No, we're supposed to go see Dice. We've already went
Oh,
over
the
this.
same day?
It might be. We got to figure it out.
Figure that out. But you gotta have a dais,
So
and
I
want to be in
already
the
have.
back.
They said I'll be in touch with like one of their friends or something, which I'm going to prepare a list of
How
questions.
old is this guy?
50.
Can you put me at like the altar Kaka table in the back? Like me and the people who have to turn their hearing aids up to hear you. I don't want to be there. Give me some prime rib and I'm called a day.
Something funny happened a couple weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to tell you. I went out with Mr. Eat the Rat. We went and we got some drinks at a distillery. We did some brewery stuff. Now, I came right after work. So I am on
a tricycle? There's
blue
a third wheel and then some.
blue scrubs, top and bottom. And I'm sitting in the car and I get out and I go to walk in. I'm literally fresh off of work. And I turn to him and I go, should I take the top? I had a t-shirt underneath. I said, should I take the top off? Do I wear the scrubs in? And the first thing he says to me, he goes, no, you want to look like you came from work, not that you have pajama bottoms on. Like you absolutely have to wear it on.
The fuck do you need scrubs for?
I'm a
physical
doctor.
therapist. What?
I'm a doctor.
That doesn't mean like
I could buy that uniform, Zach.
I could buy that at a Spirit Halloween store too. But like, why do you need scrubs?
So that was the first thing that happened. And then now we're sitting down in there and a lady comes in with her husband wearing identical matching blue top, blue bottom scrubs. And I make a comment to Zach. I make a comment to my buddy and I go, is this awkward? We're wearing the same thing. He goes, no, you should walk up to her and be like, hey, where do you shop?
Yeah, you should have.
Didn't happen.
I would have flirted with her a little.
I'm sure you would have.
Maybe. Was she cute? In the scrubs? Sometimes those are very form-fitting. They're very bust accentuating.
I think I look good. My patients think I look really skinny and buff. I'm like, nah, I'm on a wedding diet.
Sometimes you say things just be nice.
Asshole. So I went out with my buddy Timmy.
Who's going to tell their doctor they look like a fat slob? Nobody. You either give a fake compliment or nothing. Now, granted, I've only given nothing. I've never complimented my doctor in my life. But
this bothered me a lot from a couple of weeks ago when I went out with my buddy Timmy. We went to a restaurant. The waiter comes over to me, and I was still waiting for him to show up. And he turns to me and says, oh, are you still waiting for one more? And I go, oh, yeah. He goes, okay, I'll wait to explain the menu until your friend comes. And I thought, oh, okay, sure, whatever. So Timmy comes, he sits.
Calculus?
I assumed it was like specials is what he meant. He was going to go through a bunch of stuff. We sit down, and the waiter goes, I can't make this up. He goes, the appetizers are on the left, the entrees are on the right.
Did you say I've dined before?
And he walks away.
Destroy him?
I gave him, well, okay, I don't mess with waiters before I've gotten my food. And I looked at him, I gave him a nod. He walks away, and I turned to Timmy, and I goes, he made me wait to hear those instructions. Also, those were the least detailed instructions I've ever gotten at a restaurant.
If you didn't worry about that, I would have called him over. Excuse me, we got some questions. Could you just explain the menu one more time?
He proceeded to mess up our order. We ordered because we did like just a big like I got this. We just split everything, and we got I think like duck breast and steak or something. And they brought over
some Fromunda cheese.
Next, so Timmy just cuts into the duck breast, hands me half of it over. I start like looking at it, I go, this is salmon. He goes, and he's eating it. He goes, yeah, I guess it is salmon. At this point,
wait, this is the guy that used to get those rat meals?
No, different guy. Anyway, the fact that he made
on more mandates.
I like hanging out with my friends, and I don't have friends that are girls.
Nobody's friends that are girls. You never come to me for a date. We go see Dice together, possibly.
Possibly.
Or we'll go to a roast. So I need to know if this is happening. Or we get Dice to go do the roast with you.
You know how much he would charge?
Not as much as you think. He'd probably do it for free food, too.
Pishadoo of the week. Zachy, I got a lot of candidates, so let's get through these. Candidate.
Legal pad.
Number one. There was this pop-up exhibit or restaurant in England that happened where they make ice cream, and the ice cream flavors were all inspired by things found in the cupboard. Now, there were some good ones in there. There was a Frosted Flakes flavor. There was like a custardy type of flavor, Cocoa Pops, not Puffs. And I thought, oh, that's kind of clever. Let me go on. Heinz tomato ketchup ice cream. Heinz salad cream ice cream, Heinz baked beans ice cream, and without a doubt, Heinz mayonnaise original ice cream.
Oh my god, maybe the guy from Kentucky will put that in his coffee.
Couldn't find that video. I actually did look it up.
It was gross. Yeah,
That is candidate number one. Candidate the second, the ESPYs. This was a couple weeks ago. I never got to it. They gave comeback player of the year to Klay Thompson because he hurt his little bitty ankle over Trey Mancini, who beat cancer.
Yeah. But who is he playing these days?
That was really bad.
Is this his first year back? He didn't play last year, Mancini?
Last year,
2 years ago was the cancer year.
No. 2 years ago was cancer. Last year he came back. The ESPYs you're given to the previous year.
Ah, yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Was he nominated?
I didn't watch.
He wasn't even nominated? Welcome to Orioles baseball.
Next we're 2 games out of a wild card right now.
I know, and you're selling? That's insane.
Candidate number 3. This past weekend, maybe this is just a shout out. Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, was trending. Apparently, he's been liking some foot fetishy type of things that have been on the internet these days. And one, I love Better Call Saul. 2,
what's wrong with him?
Who cares? He was trending because people were like, "Oh, Saul's into feet."
So look, good for him. Like, people are into some shit. Like weird people are into cruises. Like, I don't know who knows what people are into.
Said the Rex Ryan fan.
Exactly, Rex Ryan. Let's go get a goddamn snack.
Candidate number 4. There was something went viral where a 7-year-old kid was playing a computerized chess where the chess thing actually moves the pieces. The kid moved his hand too fast.
Remember Battle Chess back in the day? Great game.
The robot grabbed the kid's hand, snapped his finger because the kid apparently moved too soon or too slow. I thought that was actually pretty funny because
that's where they got those clocks in chess.
Kid needs to learn. Kid needs to learn to move his hand. No.
Yeah, he won't do it again. How many times that happens to somebody? Once.
A lot of laws being made right now. You know, they're codifying this. They're getting rid of that. There's a story that a GOP lawmaker, senator guy, who they're trying to get rid of gay marriage, which say what you want about that, attended his son's gay wedding and then voted on the bill like 3 days later.
Well, yeah, I didn't ask you just a similar question. Like, all these people in the Midwest who like are anti-gay, and do they watch gay porn? Because it was low on your list, but Girl is pretty high on my list of things that I watch when I partake. But so if they don't do that, they're hypocrites. Or option B, they're watching porn for the dude. They got their own problems there too. You can't win if they're not gonna, watch Girl.
You done?
I am done.
Next candidate.
That's just a thought I had.
Next candidate. Alex Jones. The whole case just settled this past week.
He's gonna be. I mean, you're gonna have Allison over Alex Jones?
Yeah. No.
Really?
I want to talk about the Alex Jones because the clip I actually made Julia watch where, do you know why he was found guilty of everything? Did you follow any of this?
Because his lawyer sent a text to the other guy's lawyer and then said, oopsie, and then sat there like an idiot and didn't do anything. Phenomenal theater.
It was great. So I'm going with the lawyer who messed up, and that is just insane. Next candidate.
But when the guy delivered it, he goes, do you know how I got this? Because your lawyers, and you see the beads of sweat just coming down.
I guess it was great.
It was amazing. The guy just checkmate.
As he was leaning in, he had him in checkmate. I think he had his hands like folded, like, so let me tell you.
By the way, the other lawyer, he's like 11 years old. He's like 20. He's a kid, this lawyer, and he's just
that was his moment.
He's little Mac, just just crushing Tyson.
And I'll save a couple more for later and just finish up with Allison, who her son, my nephew, is at sleepaway camp right now. The way the letters work is you can email them or something. It's just easier for me to send it to her. I sent my sister a long email for my nephew where I always send like a couple of jokes, something cute. And I sent a joke, I can read it another time, where the kid references a BB gun. And it was all about, like, it had nothing to do with it. It was like the kid has a BB gun, there's a police officer, cool, great. My sister responds with, I took out the BB gun joke. You can't be making jokes about BB guns and this thing about going to camp. I lost my shit.
It's a bit soft. I mean, I'm not sure she's worse than Alex Jones, but
no, Alex Jones is not the candidate. The lawyer is the candidate.
He's pretty stupid too.
So obviously, Alex Jones saying that Sandy Hook never exists is really bad.
Okay, so her taking that out, that's why you got to go pen to paper and put it in the mail, old school. Just mail it to him. Send what you want.
I learned my lesson. I'll send a bomb next time.
Send a bomb or just send like the goods on his mother. Just like literally a list of goofy stuff she did when you were kids that he can come back with. She'll have nothing.
Noted.
What's
Ice
he gonna
cream.
do? God bless the USPS.
Ice cream pop-up weird flavors. ESPYs give Clay Thompson, not Trey Mancini. Bob Odenkirk and his foot fetish became trending. Chess robot breaks the kid's finger.
Good for the
GOP
robot.
lawmaker attending a son's wedding, then voting against gay marriage. Alex Jones, lawyer. And my sister.
It's a toss-up between the lawyer and the ice cream. The sister's annoying, but easy to combat. Seriously, send him just a laundry list of goofy shit that she just like
Probably will.
feed him. You see, BB gun? She just brought a knife to a gunfight because now you're gonna feed him real ammunition, not bullets. Facts. He can just lawyer her with nonsense. Remember that time in '94 you did this, and then she's got nothing. No one, her glass shattering. Parents are now fallible beings.
Glass shatters, Stone Cold walks out.
Fallible beings. I'm going with the lawyer. The text message thing is the stupidest thing. Like, this guy's a moron. But he just sent one text. He sent like a gajillion.
It was bad. It was really bad.
He sent the whole phone.
There was a video that went viral on TikTok that I actually thought was pretty funny, where they have this veterinarian who was giving her top 5 dog breeds you should have and top 5 dog breeds you shouldn't have. And
the answer's not Shih Tzu. I'm not into it.
maybe it was her cute Southern accent that drew me into this, but Zach, today's trivia, I'm going to give you, in alphabetical order, the dog she listed, and you have to tell me if it's a good dog to have or a bad dog to have.
I think Ali G did this. Go on.
Number 1, Basset Hound.
Basset Hound. I'm going to say, they're like lazy. Are we talking New York City or they can run around?
She was in the South.
Ooh, okay. Basset Hound. I think they like their hounds in the South. I'm going to go with a yes.
Basset Hound was actually her number 1 because she has a Basset Hound. But they have tons of issues. Apparently, they're super sweet. But you know what always weirds me out is the goo that kind of collects under their red eyes. Like, they remind me of my great-grandmother with, like, a saggy eye.
There's a world where she's pishadoo of the week for like this, just making us do this.
Candidate number 2. Next one, a Chihuahua.
Oh, the worst. They smell.
This is not your opinion. It's yes or no.
It's my opinion. My menses and hers are totally in sync. No.
She called them, and I quote, ankle biters, and they're always afraid of getting stepped on, and they're little assholes. So that was a hard no.
2 for 2 with me and Toots. Let's go. I will give my opinion why she and I disagree. Yeah, well, I agree. Let's go.
German Shepherd / Belgian Malinois.
Oh. I don't know what that is. I like what Larry David said. It's nice to be affectionate saying German. She probably likes German Shepherds. It feels like she. What's the other one? The Belgian
Malinois.
Malinoma. Okay. Yes to the Belgian Malamar.
Correct answer is absolutely not. They're good for police work, and they basically are they're not aggressive, but they are just sitting around waiting to fuck you up. They have a look on their face like, wish a motherfucker would. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Like, they're smart enough not to attack you like a pit bull would.
Like most Aryan breeds.
Next one. Golden Doodle.
Golden Doodle. That's a douchey dog. She's gonna. All right. All poodles are like little assholes, but retrievers are good. I'm going to go with no.
So it's not a retriever, it's a golden doodle.
You're
going with the hybrid?
Yeah.
The answer is they can't sit still. They get tons of ear infection. You need to groom them all the time, and they are high maintenance. That's a no.
Maintenance? So it sounds very Jewy. They get ear infections too, these Jewesses.
Actually, golden doodles are very Jewy.
There you go. All right, so I missed one. All right, we're doing pretty well. We'll keep trucking.
Keep it going, golden retriever.
5 and 5 or 4 and 4?
It's 10 total.
Ugh.
With a bonus.
Ugh. Honorable mention. Go on.
Golden retriever.
Just straight up golden retriever? Oh, the best. Yeah, everyone loves those things.
And I quote, great for the family. So it's a definite yes. Zach, forever ago, I went out on a date with a girl who said her family owned 4 golden retrievers at their house because they're so great. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit much. She goes, no, really? When people come to our house, they go, it's like they're a part of the family. And then she showed me all the family photos. The dogs are in every picture.
Must break up that night. Get the lobster in your lobster thermidor and a goose and get the hell out of there.
And to bake Alaska for the road.
Yeah, have your sex and you can eat it on the train ride home.
Next dog, GSP, which I thought stood for George St. Pierre, but is a German short hair pointer.
Ugh. Does it have a mustache too?
A pointer.
Exactly. Um, no, I don't know. They're probably pretty good dogs, but he really checks a lot of no boxes for me.
Correct answer was yes. There are good dogs, but they have a lot of high energy, but they're always super happy. So it's kind of like a golden retriever with a lot of energy, but you just can't be a lazy person if you get them, is what the lady said.
Fair enough.
This one's my favorite. Hairless dogs.
Oh, they're not shed, but they're gross. She's probably a yes.
And I quote, they're greasy, they're
Ew.
zitty, as are cats. She threw cats in there because she said she hates cats, and that's kind of why I kept watching. And she said that's a big no. That is an absolute no.
They're greasy?
Here's my
Here's so greasy.
Greasy, leaning tower of cheese.
He's excellent.
Number 8, a mutt.
As Bill Murray says, there's nothing more loyal than the mutt.
So that's a yes for you?
That's a big yes for the mutt.
So all dogs essentially have genetic abnormalities. You know, when you get a dachshund, its spine is collapsing. You basically want to not inbreed. It's, you know, dogs are inbreeding.
Yeah,
so
I see how all the Orthodox do it. It's disasters. These little frail guys with their little strings.
They're a little strange. So she says it's actually a really good thing because when you have these mutts, they don't have all the genetic and hereditary problems. And then she goes, but you never call them a mixed breed. And she basically implied, like, that's an N word in the
mulatto.
Yeah, you don't say mixed breed.
I can't say that on this show either. Mulatto.
Number 9, pug.
No.
They snore. They literally can't breathe. Apparently, they get skin fold dermatitis, which is from all the folds in their skin, which is gross. Also,
what is that? What makes the fat people smell?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It is, right? Like their skin's eating itself and rotting. It's gross.
Also, and I have a friend who had a pug. They have the worst yeasty, smelly, gassy farts. Like the worst.
Challenge accepted.
And last, a Pyrenees.
A Pyrenees? Those things are really high maintenance, but I've lost count on yays and nays. I'm going to go with yes.
Correct answer is yes. Now, also herding working dogs, which is not, they're not good at being inside, but these are these dogs that you would get and just go, they're so fluffy!
I would never do anything you just did.
And then your honorable mention, which she didn't put in there, was a border collie. Yay or nay?
Like Lassie?
No, that's a regular collie, a border collie, like Babe in the
picture. Lassie, but like the ones on the Mexican border who make sure they don't get in?
That's exactly what it is.
Yay.
You're out of your mind. As somebody who currently lives with one, it's a hard nay.
I live with one?
I live with one.
Oh, she's Mexican? I thought she was Cambodian.
Boozer Daddy the podcast. Thanks for listening to this episode.
But what did the experts say? Yeah,
it wasn't in there. I just threw it in there for fun.
Oh, that's yours. Oh, so you want to take a shot at your dog?
Absolutely.
And how's the border collie doing?
Hey,
that's it for us. You've been great.
All right, Zachy. I got chills. They're multiplying. We out.
Deceased.
Bye-bye.
Bye.